Hey guys, this is the supplemental video to the article that hopefully you just read about the water-based tire dressings versus the solvent-based tire dressings. So let me get right into it. I have little bottles here of each to represent the four different things I was talking about within the article. So this will clear up any confusion hopefully. So the first one I have here is hexane. It's just a representative bottle here because I don't want hexane in my garage or my house, and it's, like I said in the article, it's pretty much outlawed. So here's your hexane. Next in the article we talked about a solvent-based tire dressing that wasn't as carcinogenic or flammable. This is still flammable, not as much as this. And this was called low odor-based solvent, meaning when it evaporated, it didn't have as much bad stuff, let's call it, as the hexane. So this was the next best option, and they're still out there. And see, it's blue. Sometimes it's clear. Sometimes it's the color doesn't really matter. A lot of times it's blue or clear. And in a second, I'll spray it. I have this aluminum sign here, and I'll show you how it sprays and how it feels. I really want you to get the point of this whole article. Next is the one I decided from here to here is the solvent-based or inorganic solvent-based, and this is water-based. So, like I said in the article, this is the sprayable version of the stuff that I was making, and I was testing and testing and testing. And this is it's a very hard fine line, let's call it, between finding something that is sprayable or something that's too thick or doesn't have enough shine. So there's a lot of different variables. So anyways, this is the sprayable version of the water-based dressing. It's great. I love it. And I said, let's up the game a little bit more. And this is the gel version of this. So this is very, very goopy. So anyways, let me get into it. So the hexane is, let's just take this off. This is bad news, but I wanted it to represent the article. So anyways, here is the spray version. I'll pull the camera in so you can see it. It's very liquidy. I'll pour it out. As you can see. I'll bring the camera again. See, it's dripping. Watch it drip off my fingers there. So that is the solvent base that we first talked about. Next is the tire dressing I made that's water-based. Now it can still be sprayed. As you can see, it's being sprayed out here, but it is in fact goopier. See, it's goopy. Let me pour this guy out. Again, I'll pull the camera in so you can see how it actually looks. Very, very goopy. Next is the culmination of all of these years of work here, which is the tire gel. And I'm sure you guys have seen tire gel, but I'll pour it out here. See how it's very goopy? Now that's tire gel. Now after this, I'm actually going to pan the camera around. It's going to be a little bit of a long video, I apologize. And we're actually going to do a tire that I have up on the wall, an old NASCAR tire. The last point before I pull the camera in is when we talked about the solvent-based, the bad stuff over here. Once this was outlawed, the hexane, we started using the low odor-based solvents, which again, you can still use, and they're still out there, and you'll see them in magazines and things, and they're usually clear, and I'll show you the texture, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I've seen that texture before. This is the gasket that I talked about in the article, where a part of it was connected right to the liquid inside a big vat, a big, like 300 gallons of this product at once. And what happened was, like I said in the article, the solvent just ate away the rubber. So if you can hear, and I'll bring the camera in again, that's rubber. Not this metal thing, but that's rubber. This thing, that's supposed to flex like rubber's supposed to be pliable. So that just proves that I had 100 of these things and I throw them all away because I've gone through so many of them. That just is a great way to show you that I don't want this stuff on my tire if it makes rubber, that hard. So anyways, I'm going to pull the camera in and show you a close-up shot. This is the first version. This is the solvent, this guy. The blue, or sometimes it's clear. it's very liquidy, and it will has a tendency to sling. Next one is the next version I made. See, it's a little bit, it's goopier, but it's enough that it can be sprayed through a trigger. So it's goopier. Then my next version, now that's gel. So that will stay on, see how it sticks? That'll stay on the tire. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pan right up to that tire right there. I'm going to put some on for you right now and show you the quick version of how they go on. Now you'll see the solvent base that I'm about to put on will be, I'll put it on over here. It'll be much shinier than the other one, but the downside is, like I said, it's flammable, and it has a tendency, like I showed you, can harden rubber. And there's a crazy amount of sling on this if you don't let it dry. So let's do this one little area here, and I'll just put it on with this. You can paint it on, but for now we're just going to put it on like this. Put it on this side. You can see it's super wet. And we'll just coat it on like that. So that's that side. Next, I'll put on the other tire dressing I made that's water-based. It's about the same amount of squirts. And I'll do the same amount of wiping. Leave that little mark there so you can see the difference between the two. Alright. And then we'll put on the gel. Now the gel, you can't spray on because it's gel. So shake it up. A lot of times you see there's different shapes of tire applicators. This one just happens to be lying around, but a lot of them are square or whatever. Whatever works for you is fine. Tire dressing, there's a little trick. You always take it, scrunch it up so it goes like that. So I'll put that tire dressing, the ultimate stuff, right here, where it doesn't goop off and slide off. Just kind of coat it in there. You'll see it's nice and very jelly and very sticky, which is what you want. Okay. So now I've put the 3 different tire gels on there. I'm going to grab the camera again and show you the difference, and you make your decision which one you think, with all consideration, is the best one. Okay. So over here is the most common, which is that solvent-based one, inorganic solvent one that I talked about, where you see in all the magazines and everything. It's that clear, kind of goopy-ish liquid, but it's still relatively, not gel-like. So that's over here, and this is the one that's flammable. This is the one that slings a whole lot because it's a little bit watery. The next one over here is the first version of what I made, which is a water-based dressing, but it's also clingy. It'll stick, and it has a lower rate of sling than this one. So there it is. So you can see it's got quite a bit of shine on it. And then down here is the next version I made, which is the gel. Now you can see the difference between the two. But the gel, this one, here, that's a better view. You can see it's shiny, but this is not going to come off. It's not going to sling anywhere. It's super safe, and it's great for the tire. So anyways, hopefully that gives you an idea. There are trade-offs on particular things, and for me, this side, meaning this guy here, is just not an option for me. I'm not gonna. The solvents are no good. They're not good for the environment. They're not good for your car. Not good for the rubber. Not good for your hands, quite frankly. After years of using it, dries everything out. Then you have the water base, which is sprayable, which is cool, but there is a bit of sling to it. I'm not gonna try to steer you in the wrong direction. Then there's the ultimate, which is the gel, which is maybe a notch lower in terms of the shininess, but it'll last longer, and it sticks better, and all those attributes. So anyways, this is a long 10-minute video, but I just wanted to make sure that you guys had a good idea of what the article was saying. So hopefully that clears up any confusion, but now you know everything there is to know about tire dressing, whether you wanted to or not. Anyways, thanks guys. Talk to you soon.